Welcome to Rauta and welcome to a black metal release, or should we say post-black metal release, because this one is 7th from Canada, Quebec, a city known for, or territory known for a lot of melodic black metal ones. And this is their third album called Collapsar. It's pretty different from a lot of those other Canadian, especially Quebecois black metal scene bands, yet there are obviously similarities. Similarities maybe limited this time to more what you have about black metal. This is a little bit different, less melodic and less that. Now, obviously, as you can see, this comes without a booklet, so no lyrics for you people looking for them. And this is also CD or release. I don't know to who it matters, but this is to point out it's a self-financed CDR. Some CD players like mine tend to be a little bit picky what it decides to play and whatnot. This went nicely. The other one I got for review, also CDR, not so much. But yeah, very, very bare bones, very stripped down digipack release in terms of something to put into your shelf, whether you like it or if you like it. But now let's talk about the music of 7th. So first of all, let's tackle the genre here. On Metal Oxide it says atmospheric / post-black metal. I'm going to challenge that a bit, but also I'm going to agree with a little bit of that. Themes-wise, it says life, misanthropy, despair, sorrow, death. The basic things. Obviously, you can't figure it out with the lyrics of this particular release because they are not. But maybe this is something that applies to some previous works because, as you can see, this is the third album so far after Limbus and Vakarme. Now, I gotta say, none of these album titles are really good in selling the album. I mean, if it was more like my teenager version of me, I would go for the cover image and I was like, okay, let's start browsing. Nah, not really captivating. What about the album titles? Let's put it this way. When you see an album like Transylvanian Hunger or The Mysteries of Satanas versus Collapsar, Vakarme, you probably know what happens. Some titles are just more like, wow, this is gonna be interesting. This has some really sinister and dark album title. Whereas Collapsar is more like, I don't know, sci-fi metal. Now let's not be mean about it. Here it is, 7 songs. If I remember correctly, based on what my CD player was showing, something like 30 minutes overall. Track length's missing here. I haven't done the updating and also bear with me. And it comes with a cover like this. What is this creature supposed to be? Some AI creation of a witch nowadays? Some kind of a barren planet behind it. Can't go jumping too much into conclusions, so let's just go with the music. So when I said I'm gonna challenge a little bit of the genre here, I'm gonna say yes, it's partially very post-black metal like. There are elements which go kind of beyond the borders of black metal, at least if you consider the first and second wave. Third wave, modern black metal, debatable. You can argue that this is modern take of that. But then again, you could really say that post-black metal is, in essence, something that could contribute as a third wave of a black metal. Now, whether you go for this or that genre doesn't really matter to me, but I'm saying this has some elements, some features that could really put you outside the territory of what you think as a typical black metal. But surely there are lots of parts, including the riffs and production and, well, those kind of screamy vocals, which are definitely putting into that. Maybe screamy is a little bit misleading. Maybe we're more talking about raspier sense of style, but nonetheless, there are lots of parts which just signs this is black metal. Now, there are parts where it kind of gets fast and it slows down. Not exactly the breakdown moments, but something like when you have a car, old car, it goes like, and they like, don't do that. I mean, it's not exactly the kind of annoying metalcore thing happening here, but like, let it just go full blasting. And luckily there are those parts where the band just goes full aggression, very intense and kind of a violent too. In my opinion, they are probably the best parts on this whole release, because that's when the band shows they can be really fierce, really aggressive, and like I said, very intense. But there are parts where it feels like, are you sure this is gonna fold out perfectly with these riffs and with the drum patterns and all? I'm saying probably not, but then again, they don't really ruin the experience. There are lots of stuff that is definitely with the very, very big sense of plus side of things. This being said, very much going to the right way. But there are parts where there are some of the riffs and some of these moments which I just described are like, they could be better. So there are lots of things happening which are on the good side of things and lots of things happening which are, well, more on the mediocrity. But definitely, as whole release, more on the plus side of things. Not plus sized, but you know what I mean. Silly Finnish humor. So overall, this is a promising band at this point, and one can only wonder why they are still independent, why they decided to go digital and CDR instead of fighting a label that could actually push this out a little bit more. I don't know, maybe it's about control, maybe it's about, you know, just not finding the right kind of label. But in my opinion, Collapsar is good enough, in my opinion, to deserve a label that would handle distribution, to push it up in terms of PR, for reviews, well, help with the sales and distribution. Now it's something that's gonna fall between the lot of underground acts. And it's gonna be most likely missed by a lot of people because it's not on a big label. It's not that captivating when it comes to the name of the band or the releases or even with the covers. So there are lots of fine details to tune up and crank up for the next release. But so far, this has been an interesting finding for me, the seventh one, because most bands coming from Quebec tend to be carved from one on the same tree. And I'm not bitching about it. I love the kind of melodic Quebecois black metal, but this is different, which also kind of proves that you don't have to do the same thing that the rest of the guys are doing when you're coming from the same city doing the same genre. You can do it differently and still be worth the time and all. Now, off you go to check out the links provided from the description box. That you will find music, more information about the band in social media and whatnot. And I hope this is worth your time. In my opinion, it's pretty good of an album, but there are lots of things to do in order to make it even better for the next one. So until that time, let's see about it. And looking forward to your questions and comments about the band. Put them in the comments box below and check out the links provided. Now, enjoy some Quebecois black metal. Over and out. Bye-bye.